all members of the society agreed on a progressive ideology. You spoke about Ghana, where everybody seemed to get to a point where no more, we're not going to take this anymore. We no go. How did you say there was actually a slogan?
We no go sit down, make the cheaters every day, and it was a song. They used to play it on the radio every morning.
Right. So how do you get to a point where you take it from, you know?
I want to talk about sort of hard issues and soft issues. One of the things I don't see here amongst leadership, whether by men or women, is understanding what is emotive, what gets people going, what is emotive, what do people want to hear, what are the communication tools you are going to use to get people galvanized around a particular action, or believing in me, or believing in this idea or concept. And I think we are so hard with each other, we don't understand any longer how to use these soft issues to make people...
Is this where women can come in?
That's exactly my point. That is where...
Antipas can come in.
Go ahead.
No, I was just... She mentioned women, so how are they different really from the men there?
Well, let's even talk about Fumi's show. I mean, and the subject matters that Fumi, or the subjects that Fumi chooses to highlight and address in the show. It's a point of even talking about these soft issues. A lot of times, things that we refuse to confront in our larger society are discussed here at this show, because as I watch this program over the years. So clearly, again, the issue is whether or not, because as Wale, you made that point about how women are able to bring up issues that everybody runs away from. So I think that more than anything else, women don't have to be told to play a role. They need to seize the role they need to play.
How will that happen?
Evolving Nigerian society.
How will that happen? I always hear men say that you women, and I see the sincerity. I see some men when they are being mischievous about it, and some just don't know what they're talking about, frankly. But I do see the sincerity of certain men when they say, you know, you women don't know the power you have. What is this power you men are talking about?
I think that women can be purposeful. You know, let's talk about the scandal about, you know, money stolen in the legislature a short while back. Why did it shock so many people? Because I don't know, we might call it, it might be reverse discrimination, but people didn't expect that kind of thing from a woman. You know, there's a belief that women tend to be more nurturing, and like we said, they have a purpose. They will do anything to protect their own. She behaved like a man there. She behaved like the quintessential Nigerian man, you know, who has agreed. And she must have sat down to agree with people to spend money or to steal money. So, I would like to make a point clear. I am not saying that our people shouldn't take responsibility to drive properly, to obey the laws, to queue in a bank, to be polite to strangers and whatever. But I'm also saying that there is a cabal that has imposed itself.
How can women come into this power you are talking about? I want to understand structure, because, you know, I'm a woman, and certain things, growing up in an environment, although, you know, it seems that things have changed, but we did grow up in an environment where, you know, you were told as a woman you couldn't do certain things. Certain things are actually structurally obstructing your path as a woman. Some things are even mindsets, you know, that have been put in place as a woman. So you are telling me that this, as a woman, we have power to help our societies grow, to help our families grow, and women don't hear it. They don't understand what you're saying.
Maybe I should just say, what do you call that? One of the sort of observations I have made about where we are today is the sense of how women are evolving into leadership positions without themselves recognizing the power that they have, and therefore without being able to connect with one another and building a much more structured approach towards building leadership. So one of the failures I find amongst women is this issue of mentorship, of older women, professional women, and younger ladies coming through the system. Because there's a disconnect between the two. How many young ladies can point to older women who are professionals in their area and say, this person mentored me over 10 years? So first of all, women must decide amongst themselves what roles they want to play, because it's a strength in numbers. If you don't have the numbers, you cannot negotiate. So we can't only have the mavericks of Ngozis and Doras alone. We must have a more organized framework of how women are going to take on leadership positions in a country like Nigeria, across the board. We hear about what is happening in the north, and how we have a lot of Hausa feminists who are coming through the system, but we don't see the role they are playing. There's a disconnect between even the discussions happening between what the women are doing in the north and what is happening here in the south.
Yes, it's true. The women in the north are so underreported.
That's the point. So we are not getting a full representation of what is actually happening in Nigeria today. Nigeria is like capturing a frame of a fast-moving object. Before you've cut it, it's actually evolved and moved on. So I think some of these very difficult issues need to come to the fore, especially amongst women.
This is where I want to come back to men.
And talk about it.
This point you've made, I think, is a very powerful point. I remember saying to some friends recently that I do not have any women that I would go to and just sit and say, auntie or doctor or, you know what I mean, just talk with her about my problems. You know, I on my part, I'm trying that with younger women. You know, but it's a conscious decision. However, I've noticed that one thing stands in the path of women here, and it goes back to men. Oftentimes, there's distrust amongst women because of the dysfunctional relationships that men have with women in this society. Let me put it plain. Most older women, most married women will not trust me because, one, I'm unmarried. They think I'm going to take their husbands. Their husbands will take anybody.
That's a culture.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's everywhere in the world. Everywhere. It's not just
yeah.
Nigerian. But because we have accepted that dysfunction, the average woman cannot complain. We have people whose husbands are HIV positive. And the husband knows he's HIV positive. And he is sleeping with his wife. And the wife suspects he might be because of his behavior. She has no right to say to him, you can't sleep with me. In fact, you cannot be going around with those women. You know, because of that, the other woman is not going to trust me. She's not going to trust the younger girl in university. You know, that kind of thing. So there's a distrust because of the dysfunctional relationship that men deliberately have with women in this society.
I don't know why.
For me, but you see, here's my problem. You've hit the nail on the head. You've told me what your problem is. You allow the men to create mistrust. You cannot be mentored. The older women find younger women a threat. So what are you doing about it? You expect me as a man to come over and decide all of a sudden that, hey, you guys all out there, we won't go after women again. What are you talking about? And nobody's going to hand power to you on a silver platter. You've got to take it. You know, even the things you throw at me make me smile. For me, you're just like everyone else. You are no different.
And what is interesting about this is that you expect a dysfunctional man
to give it to you.
A dysfunctional man is already pathological in that he is not well. His whole behavior and approach to life itself is not normal. So how is it that person who is not normal is going to now set you on the right path?
But and all of a sudden you blame me for your problems. I'm enjoying it. I love it. I want to hunt. If you think I'm hunting, great, fantastic, good. But what are you doing about it? Don't expect me to save you. You've got to save yourself. That's
the point.
See, no one has.
That's why I say we get the rulers we deserve. Women are getting the men they deserve.